Have you ever felt like you are wearing a costume, a mask, or playing a role, a character to get through your day, to survive your world? We put on these literal and metaphorical costumes to navigate the expectations of our families, the workplace, and society. What happens when that costume, that character, that role that you played so well becomes a cage? Let's not talk about how to play the part better. Let's explore how to take off the mask and costume without losing your safety, and how to consciously choose your wardrobe of identity. In our last episode, we unpacked the heavy weight of moral injury and the environments that crush our values. Today, we're talking about the next step in exploring a fascinating psychological theory called enclothed cognition. By the end of this video, you will understand how the clothes we wear and the roles we play in society literally alter our brain chemistry and cognitive processes. More importantly, you'll learn how to stop letting society dress you. You'll start purposely choosing your wardrobe of identity without losing the authentic person underneath. If you're struggling with imposter syndrome or the exhausting weight of code switching, and you feel like you're constantly performing a version of yourself just to survive the workplace or community, this video is for you. For over 40 years, I've navigated some of the most intense, high-stakes stages in the world. From my time at Alvin Ailey and The Lion King, through my work at American Ballet Theater, I've worked with thousands of artists, executives, and high achievers who were exhausted from wearing the heavy armor of protection. A little later, I'm going to give you 3 actionable tools to help you choose your daily costume consciously so you can stop hiding and start thriving, because walking with lions requires that you know exactly who you are underneath the armor. Welcome to Season 5 of Roar. One of the primary ways to survive those compromising and toxic environments is by putting on a costume. We do it every day. In a landmark 2012 study, researchers Hajo Adam and Adam Galinsky proved that the physical garments we put on our bodies trigger measurable, immediate changes in how we think. They ran an experiment. They gave subjects complex tasks that required intense attention. One group wore street clothing, while the other put on a white lab coat they were told belonged to a medical doctor. The result? Those in the doctor coat saw a massive spike in focus and made fewer errors. They called in another group and gave the new group the exact same coat, but told them it was a painter's smock. The cognitive boost that came with the group that wore what they thought was a doctor's coat completely vanished. Your brain isn't just reacting to fabric, it's reacting to the symbolic meaning society has attached to that fabric. Our brains are obsessive prediction machines. When you put on the garment representing rigorous or attentive, your brain activates those networks. As an artist and dancer, I know this to be profoundly true. When you walk into a dance studio and strip down to your rehearsal gear, your tights, your leotard, your sweatpants, your posture literally changes. You become grounded, connected to your body, to the floor, ready to sweat, ready to work, ready to be vulnerable and fail forward. The rehearsal clothing gives you permission to be your authentic self. When we go on stage and wear costumes, the costume can often give us the last piece of the character. In fact, I danced with a person many years ago, and she would try on different hair pieces in rehearsal to figure out which hair fit the character or which hairstyle gave her the character. On stage, the costumes are a purposeful choice made by the choreographer, and the dancer brings it to life, and oftentimes the costume helps that dancer find that character. You'll hear behind the scenes an actor saying, "This character wouldn't wear that. She wouldn't wear that. He wouldn't wear this," because they're feeling who this character is, and part of it is the role they present through the clothing. In the real world, we wear these costumes too. In fact, I would argue that we do it more in the real world than on stage. We are playing roles to survive in the real world. And these characters and costumes aren't always woven from fabric. Sometimes they're woven from behavior expectations, corporate jargon, and body language. For much of my life, especially transitioning from the stage into corporate and executive spaces, I had to wear a mask of the perfect, unbothered high achiever. And as a black man navigating many predominantly white spaces, this is survival. You learn to code switch, put on the right cardigan sweater, you soften your tone, you speak carefully, and you hide the messy, deeply sensitive parts of yourselves, for God forbid you come across aggressive or labeled as a threat. Society can give you a costume, and the costume I've been given that I have to counteract is one of an aggressive black male. And so I try to contradict that consciously. It's not fun, but it's a reality. That costume keeps me safe. It pays the bills. But wearing it every day can be suffocating. In some cases, enclothed cognition has worked against me. The longer I wore the mask of assimilation, the more my brain started to believe that my authentic self wasn't allowed in the room. I've lived this for decades, many decades. The costume dictated my thoughts, making me hypervigilant and anxious. I was performing perfection, and it was draining my life force. Taking the mask off was terrifying. True liberation is an inside job. When I finally started showing up in boardrooms as my authentic, stuttering, passionate, fast-talking creative self, something shifted. I realized that the societal roles we play are just wardrobe choices. You can choose to put on the armor when you need to walk through a dangerous, toxic environment, but you must remember to take it off when you get home, when you're safe. You are not the armor. Before we get into how we can practically apply this to your own life, if you've ever felt the heavy exhaustion of wearing a mask to survive, hit that like and subscribe button. We are building a tribe of authenticity, and I hope these videos help you find the courage to be your authentic self, and that you can belong anywhere you choose to be. Stay tuned because I'm about to share 3 tools to help you curate your identity wardrobe. I've been quoted as saying, to touch, to move, to inspire. This is the true gift of dance. But it's also the true gift of living authentically. Dance and self-expression has given me permission to live my authentic self and dare the world to deal with me. Teach the world how to deal with me. It's not easy. It's frustrating and draining and can be exhausting, but it feels so good when I can say, I am being me today. Totally me. And I want that for you. You can't inspire anyone, least of all yourself, if you're trapped in a costume that someone else designed for you. So how do we take off this mask without putting our own livelihoods at risk? How do we walk with the line of societal expectations and consciously apply enclothed cognition to empower ourselves? Here are 3 practical tools to help you purposely choose your costume. Audit your wardrobe. Identify your masks. Think about the clothing you wear in different environments. What do you wear to work, to the community center, to the gym, with family, with friends? Go a step further and think about the persona you give off in those spaces and the persona you want to give off in those spaces. Recognize the symbolic meaning attached to each role. Are you wearing the people-pleasing costume, the fixer mask? Are you wearing the designer labels to impress people, to make you feel better about yourself? Is your identity being wrapped up or attached to the designers you wear? Acknowledge which of these costumes empower you and which ones drain you. Awareness separates the real you from the fabric of the role. Before I get into number 2, I know that I wear things purposefully to protect me. I carry a personality in my working and professional spaces. I want to appear intelligent, clever, collaborative, friendly, and passionate without being condescending or intimidating. I have to catch myself, remind myself, that I am not the costume. The costume, be it literal or internal, is my armor. Intentionally dress for your highest self. Use the signs of enclosed cognition to your advantage. If you have a challenging meeting, consciously choose an item of clothing, a piece of jewelry, or even a specific posture that symbolizes your core values, like integrity, courage, or resilience. Before you walk into the room, tell yourself, I'm putting on my executive armor to do a job, but my authentic soul is safe underneath. You are controlling the costume. The costume is not controlling you. I've invested in differently colored eyeglass frames. Each one carries with it a personality that I choose purposefully. Purple, red, gray, white, corporate black. None of these frames are accidental. I'm presenting the version of myself I want you to see, feel, and hear. It's an authentic version of myself that I present in those spaces. Establish a derobing ritual. This is the most crucial step. When you leave a toxic environment or finish the demanding role, you must consciously take off the costume. Create your own ritual. The moment you walk through that front door, change your clothes, wash your face, or take 5 minutes of deep breathing. Actively signal to your brain and your nervous system that the performance is over. When I come through my front door, I put on my sweats, and they're sweats I would never wear outside. Not because I'm ashamed of their dancer tears, but because they're home. They make me feel like I'm home and safe in my authentic self. And I don't want to wear that outside. If I put those on, I'm not going back outside. And if I do, I change my clothing. Not because I'm ashamed of what I'm wearing, but because I'm putting on the costume for the outdoors, purposely and consciously. Give yourself grace to be messy, unstructured, and completely authentic in your safe spaces. Here's the danger, the warning. Let's not be Pollyanna, rainbows, gumdrops, and bluebirds about this. The impact of our costumes is real. No, if you put on your confidence glasses, your activist sweater, your contrary cap, you will find yourself in situations where you must stand in that character, hopefully an authentic version of yourself, and weather whatever resistance you may receive because you have it on, because you're wearing or you're standing in that posture. Stand strong in it. Teach the world how to deal with you. Be a choice. Teach people how to be around you. So that's a very small taste of enclothed cognition. The masks and costumes you wear to survive society profoundly alter your mind, but by recognizing these roles, you can consciously choose your wardrobe of identity and use it to manifest your highest self while protecting the beautiful, authentic person underneath. Mastering this awareness prepares you to listen to the deepest, most honest instrument you possess, you. In our next episode, we're going to explore exactly that. Your body already knows the answer. We'll dive into Antonio Damasio's somatic marker hypothesis and learn how to stop overthinking and start feeling the physical signals that guide our best decisions. It'll be here when it's posted. Remember, you're the director, choreographer, producer, and star of your own life. Don't let society dress you in a costume that's too small for your spirit. One planet, one tribe, one world, one love. I'll see you there.